What's up, everybody? It's your boy Half Dolo. I game because I'm winning. Much love to everybody out there, man. It is your boy Half Dolo for the fourth episode of the Talk Your Game podcast. And we have our boy Fuzz in the building. So much love to my boy Fuzz. We're going to send him a round of applause right now. Shout out to my boy Fuzzy Fantabulous from the Art Clan. As you can see, you can go check him out. He's right there. And I want to send shouts out to Hex Gaming Controllers. Hex Gaming Controllers is the sponsor for this Talk Your Game podcast, episode 4. And with that being said, we are on our way. So I want to introduce my man Fuzzy Fantabulous. Say something to him, Fuzz.
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, man? And look, I just want to thank you guys for being so patient. Had to take care of some things before we got this podcast situated. And of course, my man Fuzzy Fantabulous has the microphone. So with that being said, we're going to talk about a few things for you guys out there. We're going to talk about the positives of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the new Season 4, and of course, the Black Ops 6 multiplayer gameplay. So Fuzz, tell a little bit about yourself first of all.
I'm in Washington. I grew up here and 42 years old now. I'm I first played Call of Duty in Modern Warfare 2. I went to a friend's house and he didn't have any internet, so I had the pleasure of learning the campaign. On the first Modern Warfare 2. So after that, first multiplayer game that I played was Black Ops 1.
Wow. Okay.
And then kind of got more heavy into it later, but I enjoyed the campaign for the first couple of years of different games, and then I started really getting into the multiplayer.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, and this game has definitely tested some few patiences, but there is one thing that I like about it that we don't really have in other games is that it's really a team-based game.
100% correct. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Which I like. I like being able to conversate and tell people where other people are at, and then say, "Hey, I need help over here," and then they go and do that. But then it is also frustrating when you have a full team of like 6, and you're just by yourself with randoms who don't like to go for. They like to play objective-based games, but they don't go for objectives.
That is true. That is true. That is 100% true. Oh my God.
I have some recordings that I haven't really been able to make it into a video, but yet. But they're literally sitting in the very back. And actually, they were sitting in front of spawn, just laying there, doing nothing, and then they laid in the back. Like, after I said something, then they went back further. And
how'd that make you feel?
I definitely should have been chat banned on that one. I didn't get the pleasure of being chat banned on that particular episode or that particular game, but I definitely should have been.
Okay. Now, with that being said, I mean, we have the Season 4. The new Season 4 just dropped, and I know that we talked about some different streaks that are involved now. Actually, I think they put one streak in there that they had. It's a launcher of some sort. I forgot the specific name for it. And then they also have a new map. So, let's talk about that. Like, are you excited about Season 4 now? Do you like it so far? Like, what's your thoughts on the new maps?
Well, I haven't really heard too much on the new streaks. I did hear. Were you talking about War Machine?
I'm not sure if is it the War Machine?
I don't know.
I forgot, but it's similar to a War Machine. Yeah. It's like a a launcher. You know what? Let me find out what the.
Because I think that would be the only thing that would be a launcher that they don't already have in the game. It's because didn't they do Death Machine?
Yeah, Death Machine's already up. Yeah, and
Right, right.
as a matter of fact, the Death Machine is you can use the Death Machine to get a nuke. So for those of you out there, the Death Machine will get you your nuke. So yeah.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, they are bringing back Fringe probably mid-season. It's probably going to be reloaded.
Okay.
Where, yeah, mid-season they come out with that stuff, which is going to be very. It's going to be interesting to see how they actually how people play it because the last time that map was in a game
Mm-hmm.
was Jetpacks Black Ops 3, where you were wall running and stuff. So, and then another thing that's interesting that everyone's talking about is that there is already wall running in the game files.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so that's going to be really interesting to see how that's going to be incorporated because if they're bringing that back just because Fringe, it'd be kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it depends if I can do it. I mean, if I can't do it, it's gonna be the stupidest thing in the game. But it's like, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I have no idea what
Okay.
everybody's talking about with that, but it's definitely gonna be something that's I'm interested about.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. Well, um, so with that being said, let's talk about the guns. Let's talk about your favorite gun that you like to play with. What Call of Duty is your favorite Call of Duty, and how does it compare with Black Ops 6 and Treyarch?
Well, my favorite Call of Duty was Black Ops 3.
Okay. Okay.
Um, that is where I spent most of my time played on every one of your games that have come out since Black Ops 1.
Okay.
Um, and I'm not saying anything bad about Black Ops 1 or 2. I think in that part of my life when those came out, I
Mhm.
would, there was nothing like it though. When you went out to go buy your new game,
Mhm.
you pre-ordered it at GameStop, you showed up,
Oh
you
my
got in
God.
line. It was always in November, so it was cold, and you're
Yeah.
waiting outside that GameStop
Yeah.
and waiting for them to open the doors. And because it was midnight, they would release it over in the eastern, part of the United States. I'm in Washington, so
Yeah.
we got the pleasure of them opening the doors at 9 p.m. So because it was the same exact time as them, they're just 3 hours ahead, So
Yeah.
uh, they, yeah, the lines they were cold, and so there was one time I went to actually a GameStop, and they had like a party going on. Uh, they had like Call of Duty Jeeps that were all decked out, sitting out there with people that are dressed up as the players.
Man, those are the good old days, man.
Right. Now
Golly, man.
now you just download the stupid thing and wait. And
These.
then yeah, and then and then what happens? Then something goes wrong. Oh, now it has to reinstall or something. Now your friends are like, "Come on, hurry up!" And you're like, "I don't know what's going on. My internet is horrible because they want me to download this 4,000 gigabyte download." So
Oh my God! Literally, the amount of gigabytes you got to download for this game is it's amazing. It's
right,
oh my
but
goodness.
they do. There's a couple people on TikTok and stuff that talk about how it's like, well, yeah, they want you to download that stuff so you can't play any other games because it literally takes up your entire console.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, okay.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Well,
I,
I go ahead.
I think we went from one thing and I just kind of snowballed that into something else because you asked me about my favorite COD. Uh, yeah,
It's all
I
good, man.
I wander around in my head and then I just talk. So, uh, yeah, it was Black Ops 3, which was funny about that COD too, is
Mhm.
that's when I first bought a I won't say it because you are
Like,
sponsored.
uh,
But I that was when I first bought my first controller that had paddles.
okay.
Um, and that helped me 1,000%
Mm-hmm.
on jumping, wall running, being able to aim all at the same time. Your thumb wasn't taking up, you know, everything at once. You were able to, and I couldn't do the claw thing. I didn't know that was a thing.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but it's uh, that was when I started. I was rocking like a point 0.6 KD, right? And then I get that
Ooh, point
I get that
six.
con no, like, sorry, point 0.06. It was bad. It was horrible. So, but I never really played to the high level, right? That
Yeah.
I'm kind of locked in and focused when I play now. But um, it was horrible. And then I got that controller and I was able to jump and do all those things and slide with the
Mm-hmm.
paddles on the back.
Oh no.
That
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We're having a podcast. I apologize. I apologize.
You're good,
What?
man.
Yeah, we'll get with you in a minute.
All right, man.
Okay.
See ya.
All right.
so um, yeah, I got better with that controller. Once I learned how to play with the controller, then and I got better at it, and I went from a point 0.6 to or point 0.06 to it was like a 1.3 or 1.4 KD
Nice, nice.
in the matter of like 4 months, 5 months. Um, it really helped with everything.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I think normally when you play Call of Duty, you have things such as this, like you have guys that jump in. That's exactly what happened, and they want to play. And of course, for everybody out there that's watching, we are with ARK, a Royal Kingship, a Royal Priesthood. And for those of you that don't know, Fuzz is a killer in Call of Duty. And like I said, you know, there's a whole bunch of positives about this game. There's a lot of people that detest this game, and we've talked about that in previous podcasts. But with this game, Black Ops 6, there's the Omni movement completely changed and rearranged the way this game is played. Like, and so when Fuzz starts talking about different controllers and stuff like that, I am sponsored by Hex Gaming Controllers, and the paddles on the bottom are amazing. Now, the wonderful thing that we're going to talk about later today is and I'm Fuzz. I'm so glad you mentioned the paddles. Hex
Yeah.
Gaming Controller came out with a new controller called the Phantom, and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit more about that in a little while. But go ahead, Fuzz.
Um, where did I leave off? Let's go.
We was talking about the controllers and how
Oh
your
yeah.
KD came up, and
Well, the KD came up, and then also you asked me about my favorite gun.
yes.
My favorite gun on Black Ops 3 was the Peacekeeper. Um,
Oh yeah, I remember that one. The
and I had
Peacekeeper
like
was a beast, man.
I had like 30,000 kills with that gun by itself. Like I
Yeah,
was all over that. And then also, um, what was it? Was it Black Ops 4? There was a ballistic knives that came out that were really good. They were actually overpowered. It was as long as you had your centering, like there was no drop. It was crazy.
yeah.
Um, and I would just be mapping people across. And then they nerfed them or fixed them or whatever you want to call it. And since you guys can't see me, I was doing air quotes.
Uh huh.
Um, fixed them, and then they actually had drop to them after a certain amount of feet, and then I couldn't do anything. But before that, it was like I got a I was able to get these cross maps with the ballistics, and then with the uh, I made a whole new account for that, and
What?
then
Wait,
yeah,
wait,
I
wait, 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 wait. You made a whole new account just for that?
right because it was gonna be just an account just for melee.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I still have it.
Oh my
I,
God.
I just haven't played it in a couple years. Haven't jumped on it.
Okay, okay, okay. So, for anybody that is listening all across the world, if you love to melee or made an account just for meleeing, I want you to send me a message. You know what? That's the first time I've ever. I mean, I know people. You know, there's people that get nukes with just melees, right? Those is like some of the most craziest nukes. Like, oh my God, he got a nuke just by using a knife. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Those were like some amazing days. But to hear you create an account just for Mayland,
Yeah.
that's the first time I've ever heard that. I'm serious. I'm serious, y'all. Y'all look, y'all got to excuse me. I'm serious. So you did that just to make an account just for Mayland? Like, was it a specific melee or what?
Well, it started out with with the ballistic knives, and then it was whatever came out. I would play on it, but it was zero bullets, zero absolute zero bullets were shot. Not
Mm-hmm,
even
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
like at anybody, or it wasn't even shot at the ground. Like zero bullets came out of my gun on that count. And there's actually a YouTuber
Okay.
who he is big on melee, and actually in this game right now, Black Ops 6, if you go into gun game,
Mm-hmm.
you can get a nuke by knifing everybody.
No way. In this one?
And a game ending nuke, and you can call it in.
No way. Oh
Yep,
God, just
yep.
by okay, okay. So that's just with the knife, then, is what you're saying.
Right, because in gun game you don't even get, I don't believe you even get 30 guns to play,
Uh huh.
right?
Uh huh.
So if you just go in and you start knifing, all you're not progressing at all, right? So you're not going to the next gun.
Oh, okay.
Um, but what you are doing is you're setting back the person that you stabbed. It's called humiliation.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Right. And so
Mm-hmm.
wherever they're at on their gun, they get set back one, the one that they just got done with. They have to start it all over again. So, but with you knifing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if you get 30 kills in a row, you will get a nuke and you can call it in and you can end the game. And then because you didn't get any kills with guns,
Uh huh.
it's funny because it'll say you got 30 kills, but you or you can get like 100 kills,
You get.
as long as somebody doesn't end the game before you get done, you can get as many kills as you want.
You know what? I might end up trying that, man. I've
Yeah.
never done it. Never. I look. I'm not a melee guy. Matter of fact, well, my dark matter, I got dark matter on this game. I never even used. I got one knife that's close to even getting gold or something like that, but that was it. I never worked on my melees. But go ahead.
But because you're setting people back,
Yeah,
you actually get really funny reactions because they get angry with you.
yeah, that is
You
true.
know?
That
Yeah.
is very, very true. That
And
is very,
so
very true. Yeah.
you keep setting back this person, and maybe it's a sniper and he's just horrible at sniping, and he hates using the sniper. And then he finally gets a kill with it, and it gets him to the next gun, and then you show up and knife him, and he goes back to that sniper, and then he just starts yelling at you, and it's kind of funny to watch.
Well, I mean, there gonna be people listening to this podcast all over the world, and for those of you that are listening, again, this is our guest for the fourth episode of the Talk Your Game podcast. My boy Fuzzy Fantabulous, aka Fuzz underscore Ron. So make sure you check him out on his socials. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you see him in the lobby, he a beast. He a beast. Now I will say this because we're talking about season 4. What do you think of the new maps that you've played thus far on season 4? What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I like him.
Fugitive.
I actually,
You like-
yeah, I like the The snow one. What's that one?
I think that one's
That
Fugitive. Yeah.
Yeah, Fugitive. I haven't played the other one. I've only played the Fugitive one.
Okay.
But yeah, I kind of like it. There's like a few like spawn points where you can trap them. Um, but you definitely this one it's not like a for sure they're trapped. It's done
Mhm.
where you make it miserable for them because you actually will need your teammates, one on the left, one on the right, and then you're in the middle to help with the spawn trap. And then it's just over. They can't do nothing. But if you're just in there by yourself,
Mhm.
you can't really do it by yourself. You need that extra help
Okay.
just to block off those other routes.
Now I want to ask you this. So, if somebody was to send this, email this, or tag Treyarch in Call of Duty, what would you say to the devs and those responsible for programming this game? What would you tell them? Because I'm gonna tell you guys about Fuzz. Fuzz will purchase every single Call of Duty, regardless whether the reviews are good or bad. He will purchase every single one. So, as a dedicated Call of Duty player in the Call of Duty community and in your old school, what would you say to the devs? And I hope the devs are listening. I hope that the people responsible at Activision are listening, and I know that some of them are listening. I know people have shared the stream, shared the podcast. People have shared the podcast, downloaded the podcast. As a matter of fact, we're ranked I think we was ranked 80th in the nation, and we have over 75 downloads worldwide so far. And this is our fourth podcast. So what would you say to the devs or people at Activision? What would you say?
Um, I so I'm gonna like you said I'm gonna buy it every year, and just because I'm it's a term that you use in gambling where you're pot committed because you have
Mm-hmm.
more money in there than what you actually have left.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same type of thing. I've bought in every Call of Duty since Black Ops 1, and then I also went back and bought the previous Call of Duties that I didn't buy before.
Uh-huh.
Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Well, 3 was after, but I and I'm gonna be there through the end. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna buy it every single year, and there may be a year or two that I'm gonna that I may not enjoy it as much. But if that's the case and I don't enjoy it, I'll still probably go back to the last Treyarch because I am a Treyarch fanboy, and so
Okay.
uh, I like the way the Treyarch games play, even though I've only gotten one nuke in my entire career,
Oh my God! Oh, this is beautiful. We're gonna talk about that, but go ahead.
and half Dolo was there when I got it. But it's funny because in non-Treyarch games, a
Uh-huh.
nuke is obtained when you hit 25.
Uh-huh.
But in a Treyarch game, it's obtained at 30. So, how many times have I gotten more than 25 kills? Um, or how many times have I gotten a nuke? Once. How many times have I gotten more than 25 and gotten a nuke? Once. How many times have I gotten more than 25 kills and not gotten a nuke because we're on a Treyarch game? Probably 15, 20 times. And I I died I died on a 29 in
Uh-huh.
Black Ops 3 to the mannequin arm. I got slapped in the face by the melee weapon, the mechanical mannequin arm,
I remember
and
that.
I was so angry. And then I got killed off of a 28 like
Uh-huh.
a week later by a mannequin arm again.
I remember that. I remember that. It was like
And
people were
so,
smacking
yeah.
people in the face and pow, pow, pow.
Right. Yeah, Black Ops 3 actually had quite a bit melee weapons. They had a lot.
Oh my goodness. I won't forget that. That was funny.
Yeah.
Like pow, like That was like the ultimate disrespect.
Right.
Um, so with that being said, I know that we've discussed the old school and of course Black Ops 6. But what is your? I mean, we talked about your favorite guns, um, but moving forward, because we are talking about the positive aspects of Call of Duty, because there is. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, like listening to Attach, he just retired from professional Call of Duty, and that's one of the guys that I've always chopped it up with. Even when I went to Champs to go see um, the LA Thieves play against FaZe Clan in Los Angeles, where the LA Thieves won their first championship. Attach was there. He was cool. I got there late. I was supposed to kick it with him there, but I got there late. But nonetheless, what would you like to see in Black Ops 6 moving forward? What that you haven't seen thus far, in a positive way, they're doing a great job to a certain extent in your book. So what would you like to see? Would you like to see dogs in the next streak? Like what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I on streaks. I mean, dogs would be cool just because I think they're adding a lot of streaks that we haven't had in the same games.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some things that we've had like the death machine where it's not in every game,
Mm-hmm.
but then also you know an advanced UAV or a harp or whatever they want to call it this year,
Right. Right.
is
Right.
is in the game pretty much every year. If not, I think there was one year where they didn't have it, and the community was really upset about it, and they brought it in late. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember. I want to say it's some. I don't even know which game that was. But uh, to what I would like to see, you know, I would. Oh gosh, I'm trying to be positive, and it's like it's. I want to see them really listen to their community, see what everybody wants.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
So
take away the skill-based matchmaking. That's doing nothing
okay.
but making people angry.
Okay. So being positive. So everybody that's listening to this podcast, I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Send us a message wherever it is that you're listening to the podcast on, whether it be Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. Send us a message. I would really love to hear your thoughts because I know that we talk Call of Duty, we talk different games, we've talked about the Nintendo Switch earlier in other podcasts with Smurfletto 6, but we would love to hear your thoughts. Like I definitely would like to hear your thoughts, and if your thoughts are being heard, I know that this is like what Fuzz said. Like listen to your community. This is the Call of Duty community. I'm part of it. I've been a Call of Duty player for many years, and this is one of the reasons why I created this platform, is for us to be able to express our views on this game of Call of Duty. Now, Fuzz said that listen to your community, and if, like I said, let's go back to you talking to the CEO of Activision. If you was talking to him right now, what would you tell him about what they need to listen to?
Every everyday gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna keep people coming back? What's gonna make them? I Yes, the goals that you have in the game,
Mm-hmm.
they do help. I definitely have to have a new goal every time that I want to get addicted to it again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just play. I need something I'm shooting for,
Mm-hmm.
literally. but uh, so yeah, I mean having goals and these like daily daily things are cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like how they added more. You have to shoot more
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
get each camo instead of doing like all of a sudden you have diamond for everything.
Okay.
Now you have to go through and get diamond for each individual gun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is actually kind of a cool thing.
Okay. Okay.
It just keeps you entertained. It keeps you glued to your controller, and it keeps you to just keep playing, which is what is difficult with Call of Duty because they get like a 6 month where it's dying,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I, I
Absolutely.
still I still like to play, and so I like to add um, almost like go shoot for my own goals that I wasn't going for originally. Maybe like the dailies.
Uh-huh.
You know, Smurf goes for the dailies a lot,
To get that
which is
XP?
cool. She gets that XP every time.
Okay. Okay.
I don't go for the dailies. I'm still trying on this camo grind for a little while,
Are you gonna get the
and
dark matter?
I'm shooting for a diamond on everything right now, and
Diamond?
then we'll
Okay.
we'll, we'll see what happens.
All right. So,
So,
so with that being said, we're gonna take this opportunity to give you guys the sponsor of this podcast. The sponsor of this podcast is Hex Gaming Controllers. This new controller that just came out is called the Phantom, and they are the exclusive sponsor of episode 4 of the Tokyo Game Podcast. I'm super excited and extremely elated to announce that I have the new Phantom PS5 controller for this particular game of Call of Duty. You guys know that I have over 1 million kills in Call of Duty. It's because of the Hex Gaming controller. I'm super excited and I want to give them a round of applause. So shout out to Hex Gaming Controllers. Thank you so much for believing in your boy Half Dolo. And again, that is our sponsor for the Tokyo Game Podcast, episode 4. And again, if you would like to get a controller at a discounted price, all you have to do is type in Half Dolo, HALFDOLO. When you go to Hex Gaming, you go to their website, figure out which controller that you want. And I have to say this about the Phantom. The Phantom, it destroys stick drift. So if you're having issues with stick drift, go to Hex Gaming Controllers. Make sure you type in Half Dolo at checkout, and you will get a major discount. All right. So shout out to my sponsor for this episode of Talk Your Game Podcast with Fuzzy Fantabulous Fuzz Ron, and so we'll get back into it. So Fuzz. So with that being said, gotta have something to shoot for the XP. What is your greatest accomplishment in Call of Duty besides that nuke? Because I want to talk about that. But as far as Black Ops 6 is concerned, what's your best or major accomplishment thus far?
um, I gotta say, I mean, the camo grind's always crazy, but I haven't really accomplished anything in Black Ops 6 yet. It's still early for me. I'm kind of a late bloomer when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to getting stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of the time in Black Ops 3 and 4, I had dark matter on that, and it was purely by just, oh, look at that. I'm only like 3 guns away, and I have dark matter. I didn't even know.
Uh-huh.
And so it was like, and then I went for it and I got it. Like those 2 games were, uh, I loved them, and I used pretty much all the guns,
Uh-huh.
with the exception of a few. And uh, this one is a little more. Um, the guns are just a little more hit and miss. Like it's really just I don't like them.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but but I do have my few favorites where I don't really float around. But in Black Ops 3 and 4, I did. I went all over the place.
Got you.
So
Got you.
I don't really have accomplishments yet in this one, but I
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to get a Treyarch nuke because I've never gotten one.
Mm-hmm.
So
So let's talk about your famous nuke that you got, the one and only nuke. Let's talk about that. So tell us how you felt when you got it.
well, it felt good, but it was on my the worst map in the entire franchise of Call of Duty. um,
I don't know if it was the worst map, Fuzz.
the worst map ever. I hated it.
So okay, tell us what
Um,
that map was. Tell us what the map was.
uh, Sub pins.
Oh my god, I don't know if that's the worst one. I think the one with the cars with the in Mexico, that was the worst map. I
I
forgot
mean,
the name of it, but go ahead. My bad.
I think when that one came out,
Yeah.
you like I was gone or something, and you guys played it
Oh, it's
for like a
terrible.
week or so, and then so whenever I played with you guys and
Yeah.
that one came up, we just left. So it was like, oh, I never really got to play it. So I
Yeah.
just I call Sub Pins the worst game or the worst map ever. Um, at this point, it's probably just to get just to mess with Floss Out Entertainment, but uh, I do want to say that there is a little bit of that in there. I don't completely hate it, but yeah. And so I think I was on. I think it was on like a 17 or 18,
uh,
and I'm going towards their spawn, and Dolo says something to me. He's like, "Hey Fuzz," and I was like, "Shh."
you sure did.
I shushed you. And then I didn't realize it until after I was making the video for my nuke,
Yeah.
and I tried to put your stream in there also because you were talking, and I wanted to put your visual in the video, but it didn't work out.
Uh huh.
But right when I was like shush, and I started creeping towards their spawn a little bit more.
Uh huh.
What does Dola do? He takes one for the team. He goes into the back of his spawn, our spawn, and lays down, so that no matter how much I'm pushing, it doesn't flip.
Yep.
And yeah, I was able to get my nuke. It felt amazing. I think that was the biggest because I've only had one,
Right.
so
Right.
that was my biggest accomplishment in all of Call of Duty uh, on the worst map ever. So, but it was good. It was fun. It was fun.
Man, that is absolutely amazing. And for those of you out there, I'm so curious because I would love to get, everybody's perspective. I've had a lot of people reach out to me about being a guest on the Talk Your Game podcast, and we're going to start getting more guests on. My goal for the Talk Your Game podcast is to do a podcast once a week. And for those of you that would like to support the podcast, you can reach out to us, send me a DM. Or for those of you like, look, I just want to support you financially. You can definitely send donations to my Cash App. The cash tag is HALFDOLO. Cash tag HALFDOLO. And if you guys would like to support the podcast, it will help us become bigger and greater and bring you a better, wonderful experience with the Talk Your Game podcast. There's other podcasts out there, but according to Spotify, there's not another podcast like ours. So with that being said, I'm super excited and I'm super thankful. Shout out to all of the folk in the Arcade Clan. And of course, everybody that's listening, you guys are appreciated. Thank you for liking and sharing and interacting. It is a major deal, a 100% major deal, because you guys could be anywhere, but you guys are right here with us and sharing with us. So if you guys are listening to this and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at HALFDOLO. And again, if you guys like to support, like, shares, comments are always welcome. And of course, if you guys would like to support, you can also use the hashtag help half dolo and the Arcade Clan push the Talk Your Game podcast to the top. No, just playing. But if you guys would like to support, definitely send the donations to the Cash App, cash tag, HALFDOLO, or PayPal. And you can get that information on my live streams. Fuzz, you want to tell them where they can find you, man?
Fuzz underscore Ron, or YouTube is Fuzz Ron, at Fuzz Ron.
All
But
right.
everything else is Fuzz underscore Ron. And all I have to say, though, remaining, is the fact that if you're going to play Call of Duty and you are working on camos and you do not care about getting on the point,
Oh,
getting on the flag,
talk about it, man.
get off the game. Go play team deathmatch. Go play something that has nothing to do with an objective, because that's not what you're doing. Don't get in my game and expect to carry.
Say, no, you can't put them in your backpack for us?
No. Now, if you want to get a couple kills, or a couple, you want to compete with me against to get hill time on safeguard. Well, that brought me back to the Black Ops 3.
Right.
Hard point. If you want to go hard point and you want to get, a couple hundred, you'll be my best friend. But yeah, it's gosh, that was a good game, wasn't it? Safeguard. Did you like that?
Safeguard was fun. I loved it.
I loved
man.
Safeguard.
I loved it.
All right. Well, I'm done ranting. So if you wanna finish it, you can finish it.
Okay, so with that being said, I am super excited that we have finished our 4th episode of the Talk Your Game podcast, and I'm thankful. I'm really thankful. Shout out to everybody that came through tonight. Shout out to everybody that liked, shared, commented. I believe that we're doing an amazing job over here, and if you have any ideas, if you guys have any suggestions, I am definitely open to it. I normally take suggestions in reference to constructive criticism and how we could be better. And like I said, you guys, if you guys want to donate to help us, be better in that aspect, please send a DM. It's like, Dolo, how can I donate? Or I'll share the stream, I'll comment. I got some groups I can share too. Maybe I got somebody that I can reach out to get you on a blog, or we can get you some notoriety in this particular area. That would be very helpful, because like I said, we are definitely growing. We are growing, and I'm super excited. And I want to thank Hex Gaming Controllers for allowing me to use their technology to destroy people in these lobbies, because they are our sponsor for episode 4. And again, I say salute. I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Blessings and doves. Shout out to the ARK clan and everybody that's been very helpful in helping to expand our reach. You guys are extremely wonderful, extremely fantastic, and I appreciate you. With that being said, we are getting ready to fade to black. Again, shout out to my sponsor, Hex Gaming Controllers. If you guys want to get that controller, make sure you go check out. And once you check out, type in Half Dolo, HALFDOLO, and we are out.